So number 3 is scars. The vocals, the pronunciation in this is it's really unique, and I'll get to that in a second, but
It's
so
really interesting, yeah.
really, really interesting, but when the line, "The doors of your heart were kicked open, but you're leaving history far behind," something about that, the way he says it, it feels like it's like an '80s movie soundtrack, and
Right,
I
well, and
can't
this
tell you
yeah.
why, but that's very much how I feel, like from St. Elmo's Fire or something.
I put what literally with that part, I said, "Whatever treatment or whatever Bono's doing with his voice, it's, like, very cool."
Yeah,
But, yeah,
very
but that's ugh, and this one, Edge said that he didn't want this one to come off as sentimental, so they made it really rough, and it grabs from a whole bunch of their early influences and from some of their earlier music. But, yeah, like an '80s movie.
yeah. Like,
I
the
I
one that
hear
came
what
to
you're
my
saying,
mind, yeah, was like Saint Elmo's Fire.
but
Um,
there is something it sounds like.
yeah. It's not the song, though, it's like the pronunciation and stuff, I
It's
think.
the yeah, it's Bono.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so my first note that I took was right on Adam and Larry, holy crap, the boys
I
are back.
mean, boys are
I
fucking
mean,
back.
yeah, this oh my god, like you said, this album belongs to them.
Yeah,
It's I mean, it just makes me happy. It makes me wanna cry, it makes me so happy, like, I love it. To just, for them to sound so close, so, embedded in each other's sound, it's
right,
wonderful, to hear. I mean, we went to Sphere, and Bram was great, he was fine, but there's an energy that Larry has that Bram just did
right.
not. I mean, he had personality and stuff,
Oh, he was
which
great, and I bet you he, like, hit every note or whatever you call them in drums
yeah,
probably perfectly, like,
yeah,
he sounded amazing, but it's not the
yeah,
same,
it was not the same,
and
and,
wasn't
I
meant to
mean,
be,
like, at
so
first, I was, like, not sure, I'm like, I mean, the music sounds fine, but then, like, I think the second show that I saw, it really hit me, like, that's not no, it's not the same thing. Okay, so, obviously, this song is somewhat about Jesus, but but it also feels like it's maybe about the orange fucker a little bit when he says, "When the town hall cries for someone to blame, making laws out of lies and legal robes out of shame."
well, so it is my impression that that is Jesus's crucifixion as a metaphor for what we are experiencing
Yeah.
in this world, because that the whole verse before that, "I'm the last of your loves, the loser of the least, I'm the name of the form that demands your release," like, that whole thing, to me, that's the voice of Jesus, and then it comes into, like, acknowledging that, like, the whole crucifixion of Jesus is about, like, power and greed and using religion for persecution,
Right.
like that, so I do think he is talking about Jesus, but bringing it into modern day. Just
Yeah.
the whole I will always say, as long as there is religion, there will be war.
Yep. You're totally right about
And
that.
it's less about the religion and more about power.
Yep.
The war.
Scars. So Bono says, "Don't cover your scars. They're your scars." I think that's really, really interesting because, I mean, like, somebody who's actually, like, known for his scar, you know? Like, not known for that, but
Yeah,
it's very
but can you think of
visible.
a bigger scar that he has?
Oh, yeah, God, I didn't even think about it.
Kicking your
Yeah,
heart right open?
yeah. I don't know why, but I didn't even go there with that.
I
Um,
think that's so this song did nothing for me when we first listened to it,
mhm.
and every time I listen to it, I'm getting more and more and more interesting things, but the doors of your heart were kicked open, like
Wow, I didn't even catch that. Good job.
and he also, in Song for Someone, talks about
I
his
have that in my
scars.
notes too.
Yeah,
I have
scars
that
from
in my
where he's been, but
yeah,
yeah, I think that's his chest.
yeah.
No, when Edge says they don't wanna get sentimental about things, I think they were trying to keep it not personal.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, like, so literally or figuratively, nobody wants scars, but we get them, and maybe there's a lesson learned. So this really, I don't know why, this sat with me for a while, just scars and what they mean and everything. So, I think I've mentioned this before, but ages ago, I was getting my, um, eyebrows waxed, and the esthetician said,
Yeah,
You have a chickenpox scar on your eye." And I'm like, "I don't think I do." And I never saw, and this was 15 years ago or something.
yeah,
I remembered that she said that. I never noticed it until we started our podcast because it's right here. And
that's so crazy. I remember you
yeah,
mentioning it to me a while ago.
I didn't notice, like, I didn't notice it, and then with the
Yeah,
light and everything, I notice it here. And then I'm just saying I have I have scars that literal scars that kind of do mean stuff to me. I had a mole on my arm, and I didn't like it, and so my doctor said, "Tell me that it's changed," and I said, "It's changed." She's like, here you go. And so the scar is far worse than the mole was. I mean, like, far worse. And I'm just like, "Well, that was stupid. I didn't know, but it was
right.
I should have kept it." And then, I don't know, I guess processing this song, but last night, I just was thinking about scars, and I have
Mhm.
this scar on my knee that it had to have been, um, I don't know, before
Yeah.
2nd grade. And I was at the pool, and I was little, and you know those, like, things that you dive into when you're, like, on the swim team? Those little, it's like 2
Can you dive
steps.
off of?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Well,
yeah.
they only had them by the pool when it was swim team time,
Mhm.
and I was little, so I would use it as my, like, get sun. I'd lay out in the sun on those things,
Yeah.
and one day I got up and they had these little like metal things saying, lane 1, lane 2, whatever. And I've
Right.
been out there and the sun was like 1,000 degrees and I hit my leg on that metal thing and it burned. And
Yeah.
still have a scar
Oh my
from that.
gosh.
I remember that. And I'm maybe not getting to the point, but I feel like you do wanna, you don't, that's a thing, you don't wanna cover up your scars because what's
Right.
underneath it might be worse than
Yeah. When I
the
first right, when my first few listens of this, all I could think of was that "Scars to Your Beautiful," which is a song from a few years ago.
Mhm.
Alicia Cara, I think is her name. But anyway, I got over that now. But I this was
Yeah,
when was I a kid? Big scar that I actually did cover up, but, um, purposefully
yeah,
and honoring the scar, not to necessarily hide it. It's just how
yeah,
the art went. But I was like, "I did cover my scar, but it's okay. I don't
it's
deny."
okay, yeah,
Jesus-y for a minute,
okay,
that, that verse where I mentioned before, the "I'm the last of your loves, I'm the silence when you grieve, I'll keep you company even if you don't believe that it's me." Part of me is like, "Okay, he's acknowledging that there are people who don't believe." And then I was like, this to me is when someone says, "Oh, don't worry, God loves you anyway." Even if you don't believe in God. You ever heard that? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're like, "Don't worry, even if you don't believe in him, he believes in you." And I'm like, "You're not hearing me."
No, 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 no.
And that this to me, I know that I feel in my heart that this is not the intention of that, but, this to me a little bit is like, even if you don't believe that it's me, I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I feel like you kinda believe or you don't."
Yeah, yeah,
Anyway, but then he gets into the town hall cries for someone to blame. I'm like, "Okay, redemption.
yeah, yep, yep, yep. So
Redemption for some of the fucked up stuff." Yeah.
right, another one of those lines that the way Bono says his, like, intonation, his cadence, "The one that's left is you, the doors of your heart were kicked open." That line also sounds unlike him. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
usually
It's
I mean, and they have, I've talked about this before, but the way that their lyrics go, if you listen to I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, it's the word that he enunciates is not where you would think it would be. Like it's I don't know how else to say it, but I mean, I hear it every time I hear that song.
right.
I feel like you would have I've climbed the highest mountains only to be with you, and that's the way that he chops it up. That's not the way your brain goes to chop up a song, and I love that. I love that
Yeah.
it's not, it's not the predictable way of enunciating or
We've
breaking up a lyric like that, and
yeah.
so the one for this, I mean, I just I love it. This is
It
actually my favorite song, believe it or
is
not.
it?
It is.
Interesting. I mean, that's great. I can't believe how interested I was in the beginning. I just feel like I'm pulling away the layers of an onion or something, like,
I have that in my
I just
notes too.
I did, but I just feel like, it's great, like, it's exciting. I love it. I love it so much. Uh, and also in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, that's a Tricky Jesus song."
Yeah,
The Tricky Jesus song. I'd almost like the straight out Jesus song than being
right,
tricky Jesus.
right.
But yeah, this song's a win
Yeah,
it's a winner.
I might, if you ask me in 5 minutes, I could possibly change my mind. This is not like a All I Want Is You is my all-time favorite U2 song,
Right.
and it's, like, that's not changing. It's been like this for 30 years or more.
But in
But
this context, these 6 songs,
yeah, it will change because I really do think that, I mean, I go back and forth between Scars and In a Life. We'll be back next week with more U2ish content.
In the meantime, keep chatting with us on social media at _Garden Tarts.
Sign up for our newsletter at thegardentarts.com and share with your YouTube friends.
You can support us on Patreon, buy me a coffee, and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Kissing Lips and Breaking Hearts, a U2ish podcast with the Garden Tarts, is created, produced, and edited by us, the Garden Tarts.
Intro and outro music by December.
See you next week.